What's up guys, Jonah here, and I'm super excited to be bringing you the first official episode of, In My Opinion, our new video series where we'll be offering up our takes on the biggest storylines, rumors, controversies, and miscellanea in sports. LeBron demands a trade to Toronto? We've got a take for that. Tom Brady signs with a CFL team? We've got a take for that. Shannon Sharpe throws Skip Bayless into a dumpster? Yeah, we've got a take for that. But we want you guys to be part of the conversation too. If we offer up a take that you think is trash, or if we happen to have a rare moment of thoughtful, nuanced commentary, let us know in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Alright, let's get it. So who's making headlines this week? First up, we've got Bills wide receiver Stefon Diggs, who drew plenty of criticism for his animated outbursts towards quarterback Josh Allen throughout last weekend's season-ending loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. In fact, Diggs got so much flack for showing up his QB that he felt he had to respond on Twitter, saying, "Want me to be okay with losing? Nah. Want me to be okay with our level of play when it's not up to the standard? Nah." He then added, "It's easy to criticize my reaction more than the result." Hold up though, nobody's letting the results slide. The Bills plainly failed to execute on both sides of the ball against the Bengals, and it's nothing short of an institutional failure that they got bounced in the divisional round when virtually everyone projected them to at least make it to the AFC Championship game. The Bills have been one of the best teams in football for 3 years straight now, racking up 3 division titles in that span and leading the NFL in point differential in each of the last 2 seasons, and they still haven't been to a Super Bowl since 1993. That's unacceptable, and I think everyone would agree on and readily acknowledge that. But we can acknowledge that the Bills wildly disappointed while also thinking that Diggs' gestures and outbursts towards Allen were a bit much. There's a fine line between emphatic and purposeful communication and simply ragging on your all-pro QB. And by the end of the game, when he was just throwing up his hands on the sidelines at a clearly frustrated Allen, it felt like Diggs had put himself on the wrong side of that line. Afterward, Allen was gracious enough to chalk it up to Diggs' fiery competitiveness, and this whole incident will definitely blow over soon, but it still felt like there might have been a more professional way for Diggs to express his frustration than showing up his star quarterback, who's also the single biggest reason behind Buffalo's return to relevance. Next up, we've got the Vancouver Canucks, who continue to cement themselves as the NHL's model franchise for dysfunction. Their latest fiasco? They let veteran and venerated head coach Bruce Boudreau twist in the wind for weeks while they indiscreetly search for his replacement, effectively humiliating an NHL lifer through a mix of sloppiness, unprofessionalism, and/or downright cruelty. It was clear from pretty much the start of the campaign that the Canucks were headed for their 6th losing season in the last 8 years. And in November, after President of Hockey Operations Jim Rutherford publicly criticized the team's performance and Boudreau's system, it seemed like a coaching change was a foregone conclusion. The courteous and compassionate thing to do would have been to let Boudreau go then and there. But he didn't. Instead, Rutherford hung Boudreau out to dry for months. Meanwhile, the rumors about him getting the axe grew louder and louder. Then, on January 16th, Rutherford publicly admitted that he was talking to potential coaching replacements, a veritable slap in the face to Boudreau. But the team still didn't let him go until a week later. In the meantime, Boudreau was forced to show up to work and go through the paces and take questions from the media when everyone in the room knew that he was getting canned. Just look at the poor guy.
So you get a little emotional just now. What does it mean to you to be the head coach in this league?
I'll talk later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Finally, mercifully, Boudreau was relieved of his duties on January 22nd and replaced by Rick Tocchet, the Canucks' 3rd different head coach in the span of roughly a year. And they're still paying all 3, by the way. Look, being a lame duck comes with the territory of being a head coach, but this was totally beyond the pale. And this entire saga is reflective of an organization that is completely out to lunch. Boudreau, after all, only had his job because team owner Francesco Aquilini hired him himself in December of 2021 after cleaning house. So Rutherford, who was named the Canucks' head of hockey operations 4 days after Boudreau was hired, didn't even get to pick his head coach. No kidding, it didn't work out. But that doesn't excuse the way Rutherford and the Canucks treated Boudreau throughout this season. It was appalling. And at the end of the day, bringing in another head coach probably isn't the solution for Vancouver, where there just isn't enough talent, especially on the goal prevention side, nor is there any reason to have faith in the people calling the shots. Last up then, we've got Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni, who opened up a can of worms when he recently compared his star quarterback Jalen Hurts to Michael Jordan. No, seriously. Following his team's commanding victory over the New York Giants in the divisional round, Sirianni told reporters, and I quote, "To have him out there is like, I know this is high praise, but to have him out there is like having, I shouldn't even go there, it's like having Michael Jordan out there." You're right, Nick, you shouldn't go there. Hurts is a phenomenally talented and highly competitive player, no question about it. And his combination of passing skill and mobility has played an outsized role in carrying the Eagles to what could be the greatest season in franchise history. But Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan? That's not a comparison any coach should impose on any player, let alone a third-year quarterback who's in the middle of his first true impact season and who, as of this writing, has precisely one playoff win for his career. Not only does Hurts not deserve to be compared to MJ, whose resume I don't think I need to rattle off here, but that comparison is a disservice to him. Now, Hurts has to carry that around with him, and whenever he struggles, haters are going to throw that comp back in his face. I know we tend to roll our eyes when coaches give canned, thoughtless answers to the media, but that approach, the Bill Belichick approach, is far less likely to do damage than the Sirianni method. Michael Jordan. The audacity. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you dig the new series or if you have some constructive feedback for us, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As always, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time.